I think that if there's something new that you want to pursue, we shouldn't be hindered by what people might already be expecting of you. Diba? If there's something new that you want to get into, why not get into it? You can explain yourself later. They say that where motivation is lacking, your discipline will take over. You're on the right track. What you want, you're gonna get there eventually. You're doing great. That's what I'm gonna tell her. I'm not gonna have her change anything, because if she changed anything, I might not be here.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our viewers from all over the world. We're here again for another episode of eBULGAR.
What is up mga eBULGAR? We are up for another exciting episode because today we are going to be joined by one of the most familiar faces in the fashion industry here in the Philippines and around Asia. You probably saw her already in most of the magazines that you have, fashion shows. But today, she is also making noise and her own music in the party scene as one of the most in-demand DJs.
Mga kabulgar, joining us today is none other than Mia Ayesa.
Hello.
Mia, how are you? Thank you so much for
So good to be
gracing us.
here. Thank you so much. So good to be here.
Mia, let's start with you've been busy. How are you today?
I'm good today. I'm good today. Generally.
In general,
Yeah.
how are things going?
It's been good. I just finished the whole Superbots thing. That was about 4 months. Can you imagine working out every day for 4 months? I didn't want to slack throughout the whole thing.
That's why
and-
you're so fit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for noticing. No, and I really want to promote this lifestyle, not just because I'm from the nightlife. We can't be fit. There are people from all walks of life and all different schedules. And it's possible to have a balanced lifestyle.
That's right.
Like I always say, day and night strong.
So before going to how busy you are today, take us back on how you started in the fashion and entertainment industry.
I was still in college, actually. I started 2006.
How old were you
And
then?
then I must
Okay,
have been
so-
19.
19,
Yeah. At that time, actually, I was already old
Uh-huh.
To be a model.
to be starting. Because
Yeah,
we
to be
usually start, at the time, now parang age is fluid.
Right.
Parang, but at the time, it was like, you start at 14.
At 14?
Yeah, so I was 19, I was in college, but then I was still lucky to have been able to enter the industry.
Uh-huh.
I just did one show
Mhm.
first, someone just told me to attend the Go See,
Uh-huh.
and then it was for Metrowear, I believe.
No, but normally, di ba, a talent scout would approach you, ganyan, or a designer would approach you. How did it happen?
I think it was that, in a mall. I think I was in a mall, but I was still in high school noon eh. So they gave me calling card, bawal, I went to Poveda.
Yeah.
Bawal sa Poveda mag-model or anything. Yeah,
anything like entertainment,
Uh-huh.
Parang
bawal.
ganun, yeah, anything. So, what my mom did was she kept it na lang. Tapos sabi niya, okay, siguro after a while, you can contact them. Tapos yun, second year college, ako na, I was my moves. Parang I contacted them and then I went to a Go See for Metrowear. Tapos yun, that was my first fashion show. Tapos after nun, sunod-sunod na.
First go see and then you got in.
Yeah,
that's
lucky.
cool.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then yung director pa, si Tito Jackie, was like, where have you been hiding? Parang insinuating na, why are you already 19?
I remember when we had guests telling us that like they've had hundreds of go
Yes,
sees and
yes.
auditions. With Mia, it was like
The first
Yeah, that
one.
was my
you
first
already got
time.
accepted,
Yeah, I was lucky. I was just really lucky. So parang ganun. And I guess I'm tall. So that was
But
it.
did you always wanted to be a model?
I will have to say no. I didn't know
No.
there was such thing. I mean, when I was a kid, I think I wanted to be either a ballerina or a pop star. Parang, that's what I remember
Uh-huh.
doing or what I remember thinking. But then, college, na realize ko, ay, may ganito pala na job. And it was reminiscent of ballet kasi somehow performance. By the way, I started dancing ballet. I was like 2.5.
nice.
Oh.
And I did that until I was 18. Ganon.
That probably also helped with your modeling,
I
with the
think
proper
so.
posture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very. It
posture.
helped a lot. Discipline and then everything. Yeah, posture, body awareness, actually. So it was a huge plus factor. And yun, so I can't say that I always wanted to model because I didn't know there was such a thing.
Uh-huh.
But once I was in it, parang, oh, it's interesting. Parang it reminded me of performance.
So I just wanted to ask, because we hear stories about Naomi Campbell, Kate Moss, and other supermodels out there living like a rock star, getting fame in their heads. Did you also experience that?
I think that whole situation is very real everywhere. But for me, I carried discipline from before eh. So there's too many things that I want to do. So alam ko na kung magwawalwal ako, pun intended, that, you know, the next day will suffer.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, I did.
So discipline.
Yeah, there was discipline involved. They say that where motivation is lacking, your discipline will take over, right? So definitely discipline played a huge
Impact.
part.
Yeah.
In me not going off the wagon or whatever, diba? I did get caught up with some less than good influence friends. But it was quick for me to discern. I was very intentional with when I would you know, like give in to certain situations, diba? I was very intentional naman with that.
What do you like about being a model?
I guess I enjoyed yun nga, the people. I find you meet the most interesting people. They're very inspiring, and then I also enjoyed that there are challenges. You have to be versatile, and it's that quality, I guess, that I carried over into my music or into DJing at least. Parang versatility talaga. It's not always about you. It's not you're always selling you. Sometimes you are, but not always. Sometimes it's about everyone else. Diba?
I think that's that's the good. I think what from what I understand, parang you get to transform kasi you get to play a role.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like you're a bride because you had to model a wedding dress.
Exactly.
And then like tomorrow you can be like someone who's in the
You
beach.
can be a rock star.
Yeah,
Or you can be a beach, a surfer.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. That's fun.
Correct.
So
That was fun.
why did you leave the fashion industry at the peak of your career?
Whether or not it was the peak, I think that's debatable. Because I was about 26, 28, ganon. When I started easing off, I didn't leave abruptly,
Okay.
definitely not. I started easing off slowly. And like I said, at the time, that's old na. I mean, you know, when I finished, it was a choice eh. When I was starting out, parang, are you gonna go abroad, do the whole Asia circuit, or are you gonna finish college? Ako, I wanted to finish college, finish school, diba? So by the time I was done, I was 22. Now people can start modeling, they're 21, 22, and we'll be like, they're so young, diba? But at the time, age wasn't nga as fluid. So I was 26, 28, and I was thinking, oh, I need to evolve, diba? I need to reinvent myself again. And saktong-sakto, parang I had been DJing casually for a few years, and I was starting to take it very seriously na. I was joining battles. So parang yung career ko in that avenue was starting to blossom. So sabi ko, I can start to ease off of modeling na. Plus, with modeling kasi it reaches a point that it gets mechanical. Once you've done all the kinds of shows, parang pare-pareho na. Pare-pareho na. And as an artist, like I mentioned, I was an artist ever since I was very young. Drawing, different kinds of art, diba? Performing, everything. So as an artist, parang hahanapin mo yung pwede ka maging creative ulit eh. Or you have control.
Yeah, so what life lessons did you learn when you were a model that you still apply today?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, versatility. Because it's not always gonna be about you.
Okay.
Sometimes it's about other people. Sometimes you're selling something else. You're not always selling yourself. So that's one thing that I really learned that I can carry to whatever else I do.
Okay.
That's what I learned. Another thing is discipline also. Because listening to instructions was so important in modeling. And I did learn that from ballet. But in modeling, since there's career involved, there's actual work involved, talaga, if you don't listen to Direct Robbie, yari ka.
Now tell us, how did you enter the music scene?
Two ways. Well, I started, there was this night called Flux. Yun, so what they would do is you just burn your music that you
Ang
like.
tandaan ng burn.
On CD.
Okay. Okay, you burn.
Guys,
For the kids. For the kids out there, before there was such thing as CDs. And in order to get your music on the CD, you have to burn it.
Guys, it's not really like lighting a fire and burning. It's just a term.
Yes. So you burn. Gusto ko yung may clarification, di ba?
Parang lang sure, parang so mga
Oo.
Gen Z.
Okay, yeah. So you burn your music on the CDs, and they'll just teach you very like preliminary ways of mixing doon. Parang fade in, fade out lang, di ba? So you get to see yung musical. It's not really DJing. It's more like exhibiting your musical taste.
Right.
Okay.
Tapos nare-rock ko yung crowd in that very small, ugly mixing way. Napansin ko parang, nare-rock ko yung crowd, di ba? Parang, ano yung pinaplay ko doon? Head Automatica, tas may emo, tas may random stuff. So naiisip ko, there must be a more appropriate way to do this. So pumasok, naghanap ako ng DJ school. So I went to school, tapos ina-encourage ako, like I was able to learn, diba? So I had a few gigs here and there, tapos ina-encourage ako. At the time, we did the Zombettes. I did that, I think for a year, we had this tour. Tapos I felt like, yun nga, I wanted to distance myself from this parang model DJ thing. I wanted to DJ talaga.
To be like a real respected
To be,
DJ.
parang gusto kong respetado ako in that field.
Right.
So I joined DJ Battle, di ba? Parang ganun. And nangyari naman yung rebrand. Like I was able to
Rebrand
achieve
yourself.
that
Yeah.
rebrand. Yeah. To the point that people don't remember that nag-model
You're a model,
ako.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which was effective, di ba?
Correct.
So yeah. Yun. So that's how I entered. That's how I
Okay.
entered the music scene.
So again, Mia, ballet, model, and then now with DJ,
DJ.
and then surprisingly, you also produce and
Writing
make your own
music,
music.
yeah.
Where do you get your inspiration? Because it's hard, right? It's hard to create your music. Eh. You don't just wake up and try to like,
Yeah.
diba?
Or you can.
If you're like,
you can just, I think it's in volume. Like I was so inspired by your guests from last time, yung VBS, diba? It's just volume. You just keep trying and trying and trying, put it
until you
out.
hit.
Until you might eventually, hopefully, hit something, diba? But you also have to be intentional, diba? Hindi pwedeng you're gonna do the same thing forever and expect different results. That's what they call insanity, right? So at the same time, kailangan intentional siya eh. So for me, my intention was to bridge the gap between my influences, which was rock, and what I love now, which is to dance and electronic music, diba? So that's my influence.
You do a lot of things. Do people get confused?
I should hope not. I'm worried about that, actually, but I should hope not. I think that if there's something new that you want to pursue, we shouldn't be hindered by what people might already be expecting of you. Diba? If there's something new that you want to get into, why not get into it? You can explain yourself later.
How do
Thank
you
so
want us to see you now? Like, who is Mia now?
Mia, among other, Mia's Meow also.
Why meow?
Meow, I'm a Leo, year of the tiger.
Oh.
So, and also I believe that cats as predators, they're able to focus.
That's right.
And I
diba?
want to emulate that, diba? The focus of a cat, the feline level of predatory. I want something. I'm not gonna stop until I get it.
And yeah, no matter if there's other predators passing through,
There's
when
distractions.
they're focused,
Yeah, diba?
that's nice. That's nice.
Hopefully we can. And also, I like to learn to scratch. I've been practicing.
Oh, scratching cats.
Cats.
That's nice. That's actually a very
Meow.
strategic. That's nice.
I like
That's
that.
nice. I like that.
So that's why meow.
How do you see things now?
I see things now in terms of balance. Kaya it's day and night strong. Because I believe that we can live two lifestyles that are seemingly separate, but we can find balance.
So, any advice that you want to give to models, DJs, celebrities, influencers that they think they're at the top of their game, that they think they have everything under their feet and it's gonna be forever?
Well, one thing is it's never just about you. What is the world population now? I don't know. Google search. But with how many people there are in the world, with how many other creatures there are in the world. It's never only about you. And if I think a lot of world problems come up with this mentality that everyone has, that it's only about themselves. Imagine if each person thought bigger than themselves. As a DJ, I'm thinking always 2 songs ahead. Eh. So after this, what am I gonna do? Philanthropic stuff, diba? I'm starting to do beach cleanup. I'm starting to help animals get adopted, diba? So if every single person thought larger than themselves,
yeah.
diba? And 2 steps ahead, imagine where we'll be. Diba? A lot of the problems won't be here. I know that sounds so beauty queen and cheesy, but it's reality. Eh? We really have to think further and bigger diba? Than just ourselves.
Before we end this, if there's one thing you want to tell the supermodel Mia,
Ah,
if the Mia out today would want to tell the 19-year-old or the Zombets era Mia Ayesa, what would it be?
you're on the right track. You're on the right track. What you want, you're gonna get there eventually. You're doing great. That's what I'm gonna tell her. I'm not gonna have her change anything. Because if she changed anything, I might not be here.